Good afternoon, and thanks for having us in. A man convicted of a Minnesota sex crime now plans to plead guilty to federal child pornography charges. Mason Mensing has signed a federal court document admitting to asking an 8th grader to send him nude pictures in 2022. That same summer, he admits asking an undercover investigator posing as a girl in Sioux Falls to send him porn. Under the plea agreement, Mensing faces 15 to 30 years in federal prison. If you see a large amount of smoke near Belle Fourche today, don't be alarmed. South Dakota Wildland Fire will burn a 300-acre portion of the Belle Fourche Reservoir today. The area is in the state game production area on the northeast side of the reservoir. This is expected to be a one-day burn, with crews staying on hand to make sure the fire is extinguished and there aren't any hot spots. The goal of the burn is to reduce the built-up thatch layer, reduce invasive cool season grasses, and promote the growth of warm season grasses. Turning now to a look at your midday forecast with meteorologist Scott Munt. The better question may be not the smoke, but maybe some snow out near the Belle Fourche area.
Yeah, we're watching snow in the western South Dakota, especially for the higher elevations of the hills, but also a couple of snowflakes now making their way in and around Rapid City. Otherwise, we have a plain cold rain trying to fall across western South Dakota. And you see a couple of those showers in south central South Dakota into north central South Dakota. Looks like around Pierre and areas to the north, with a couple of light rain showers. But again, across western South Dakota, we do have the snow for the hills. And then as we make our way toward Rapid City, it's more of a mixture of rain and snow at the moment, with temperatures for the most part into the upper 30s in and around Rapid City. Right now we have a temperature of 38 degrees. North wind Rapid City at around 10 miles per hour. You see a couple of snowflakes racing by the live cam. Visibility is down to 6 miles. This is at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Notice the rain showers will extend from central into northeastern South Dakota. Probably have a mostly cloudy sky across southeastern South Dakota by this time at 4 o'clock. While western Kettleland, still a couple of snow showers may hold. I think a lot of those will go away by the evening. And there's that line of rain from Winter to Huron, Watertown during 7 o'clock this evening. And then that will continue to move to the east during the overnight. Stopped it at 1 o'clock in the morning as you see the widespread rain in southeastern South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota. That moves over to the east. We could pick up amounts of a quarter to maybe half inch for many locations in eastern and southeastern Kettleland, and I think that should be it until we hit maybe Sunday night into Monday. Currently, we're at 61 in Sioux Falls, 62 in Yankton, 54 Aberdeen, 48 in Pierre, and a cool or cold 38 degrees Rapid City, while it's 32 in Custer. And our winds are from the south and southeastern Kettleland, but they do change to the west and to the north. Eventually, that front will move across eastern and southeastern Kettleland. We'll also see that wind change from the to the west or to the north. Wind gusts are out there, but they're only in that mid-20 mile per hour range. We'll try to hit 66 today in Sioux Falls, 56 Aberdeen, 52 in Pierre, and I lowered it to 45 in Rapid City in case we do get any late day sunshine. If that happens, then we'll probably hit the 40s. If not, we'll stay really cold across western South Dakota, temperatures in the 30s. Forecast tomorrow, it will be a cool afternoon, highs in the 60s, but we do warm on Sunday, increasing southerly winds that day as well. Widespread 70s are in the forecast. I'll have more details on your Kettleland Live Doppler forecast coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Downtown Sioux Falls will be abuzz with activity tonight with the May Art and Wine Walk. 33 downtown businesses will be showcasing the arts, ranging from paintings and sculptures to aerial arts and musicians.
Great opportunity to mingle around and maybe discover some new art, discover some new places downtown, and connect with friends, really. I think that's what people like the most about it, is the social aspect of it.
The Art and Wine Walk runs from 5 to 8 tonight in downtown Sioux Falls. Wine is $5 per glass or $30 for a punch card. According to recent studies, around 50% of college students end up not using their degrees. They're still using their knowledge they learned, but tell people to take their time and figure out what you're passionate about before declaring a major.
I would say go to college if you can. Get your degree. In that first year or two, kind of take different classes and get a feel for what you like and what you don't like.
In tonight's Eye on Kettleland, Summer Roddershot introduces us to college graduates who aren't using their degrees and get their takes on being in a field unrelated to your college major. There were new crackdowns on the campus protests against the war in Gaza. In Oregon, police cleared an occupied library at Portland State University. New video shows damage inside the building, including graffiti. Earlier, President Joe Biden had some sharp criticism of the demonstrations just hours after officers cleared a protest camp at UCLA. Jonathan Vigliotti has the story.
Protesters with makeshift armor ran from the Portland State University library into dozens of police surrounding the area as officers cleared out a days-long occupation Thursday. Outside, tense clashes as authorities threw protesters to the ground and arrested several. At one point, a car drove into a group who pelted it with objects before the driver sprayed something out the window and ran away. Cleanup is underway on UCLA's campus after chaos erupted early Thursday when officers in riot gear tore down the protester encampment.
They were shooting flash grenades over the heads of these students.
Associate Professor Graham Blair was among the 210 people arrested.
They violently threw protesters from inside the encampment to outside the encampment, and I saw bodies flying through the air. There's no other way to describe it.
In New York, newly released police body camera footage shows officers at Columbia University cutting their way through barricades after the school called in the NYPD to clear protesters from the campus. The NYPD tells CBS News that during that sweep, an officer accidentally fired their gun inside the hall Tuesday, but no one was injured.
When nonviolent protest is met with violent repression, it really does move public opinion and even voting behavior.
Omar Wasu has studied the impact of protests for about 20 years.
If the police use heavy-handed tactics, it sort of ignites a larger movement. At the same time, when protesters are perceived to use extreme tactics, that can lead to both disapproval and legitimize the more forceful response by the police.
And several universities say it is bad actors that are intentionally sparking the violence. Back here at UCLA, we do not know all of the identities of the 210 people that were arrested, but many of them were students and in some cases, faculty members. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Los Angeles.